Man, what young boy said? I'm trying to see who got 100 million for me. Yes, sir.
In the early 2010s, Chicago's South Side wasn't just fighting a street war, it was broadcasting it.
I'm out
Twitter
here.
and Facebook became battlegrounds where young men posted threats, taunts, and promises of revenge in real time. What made it chilling wasn't just the words, but how
Niggas will post some shit like this and then they homie get splat the next day. The next day. And now they posting RIP and making shirts and
often
shit.
those words turned into reality. A tweet at 6 o'clock could be followed by a murder at 7, but Facebook status typed in anger could double as
All the ops will be dead by next summer. I mean, he wasn't lying. Half them niggas dead. For real. Them niggas probably really dead.
the last thing someone ever wrote. The world of drill wasn't just about music. It was about scoreboards written in blood and timelines that read like prophecy. Tweets like, I
Scoreboards
can't
and
die by pulling
blood.
trigger, or y'all don't know the half of what's finna transpire, weren't random. They were timestamps, markers in a war between black disciples and gangster disciples that turned social media into a graveyard of last words. This is the story of Chicago's digital battleground, when Twitter was at its peak and every post could seal your fate. A world where murder and music collided, where the internet wasn't just for flexing, it was a warning, a taunt, and sometimes a prophecy that came true within hours. On November 7th, 2012, two teenagers
Fuck hours. We talking about minutes. Niggas was posting where they was really at. Like, I'm dropping the pin.
sat behind keyboards writing lines that would outlive them both. FBG Wooski fired first. Low, low, you gon' fall as well. King Von, already sharpening his legend, shot back, not before you do. The last words in that thread, we gon' see. Well,
One got permanent brain damage and one gone.
looked like trash talk became prophecy. 6 years later, at the funeral of slain rapper Dooski Man, mourners poured out of a Southside church when a storm of bullets ripped through the crowd. Dozens scattered, 6 people hit, and Wooski dropped to the pavement with a head wound that nearly ended his life. He survived, scarred, his name now etched in drill folklore as the man who lived through one of Chicago's most brazen daylight churchyard shootings. Police call it a gang war spillover. Black disciples versus gangster disciples. The cycle of blood spinning faster.
That man Wooski ate a headshot.
A teenager logs onto Twitter and types a message that to most people looks like nonsense, just a number and a set of letters, but in Chicago, it was a flag in the ground. 6347 was a block on St. Lawrence Avenue, a hangout tied to the Trap Money Boys, a crew under the Gangster Disciples. And the one sending it out, known online as Taekwon Assassin, was Gakira Barnes. To the
That fat ass pistol. What the fuck? Damn, that bitch long as hell. This town really ain't big enough for the two of us ass gun. Damn.
streets, she wasn't just
What's
another
she doing with
17-year-old
that?
girl. She was K.I., a name that carried fear, stories of gunplay, and whispers that she had her hand in more than 20 shootings. By then, social media had become a battlefield. Every post was a threat, a taunt, or a promise. That message, sent a little afternoon, read like a declaration of loyalty to her block, her people, her war. Hours later, the streets answered back. Around 3:30 in the afternoon, on the 6,000 block of South Eberhard, shots rang out. Ki was hit 9 times in the chest, the jaw, the neck. She never made it out of the hospital alive. Police records later
Why she stay with them big ass guns? That motherfucking barrel long as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
the jaw, the neck. She never made it out of the hospital alive. Police records later noted that witnesses pointed to Davon Bennett, better known as King Von, as a possible shooter. The state never brought charges, saying the case lacked enough evidence to stand trial. But on the streets, the rumor became fact, passed around in drill lyrics, interviews, and whispers. That afternoon was remembered as one of the most pivotal moments in the war between the black disciples and the gangster disciples. A war that had been burning since Tuka's killing 3 years earlier. K.I.'s death sent shockwaves through her set. For many, she had been their most feared soldier, a girl who played the game harder than men twice her age. For her rivals, her death was celebrated, a score on the board that boosted O'Block's reputation. And for the wider city, it was another reminder that the line between the internet and the street had dissolved completely. That one tweet, sent on April 11th, now reads like a timestamp, a line in the sand just hours before the end. 3 numbers and 3 letters that still echo
I dedicate my life to his revenge. She said, fuck it, I'm finna throw it all away. All of it.
in drill lore. For some, it was a flex. For others, it was a warning. But for Gakir Barnes, it became her final signature, left behind on a platform where every post carried weight and every word.
Man, the whole Chicago environment is sick. They really got not shit to look forward to. They ain't trying to get out. They ain't trying to get no money. Like, man, 2011 to 2015, man, they ain't give a damn.
Could turn into smoke. September 4th, 2012. At 6:13 in the evening, a tweet went live. I'm on 069. I'm out here. It was sent from the account of a young man calling himself oh so arrogant JoJo to the
And mind you, he tweeted this from a bicycle. Bro, you on a bicycle? What the hell? You ain't in a car, you ain't on foot, you on a bicycle, my boy. You knew they was coming to grab you. Come on, now you can't even get away on no bike?
wider
That's
world. It looked like
crazy.
teenage bravado, but to
They
the people of
grabbing you, boy.
Southside, it was something far louder. 069 was Brick Squad territory, a set tied into the Black Disciples locked in a bloody feud with the Gangster Disciples. Riding those numbers was like raising a flag in the middle of a war zone. JoJo wasn't just any kid. His name was Joseph Coleman, an 18-year-old rapper whose diss track 300K had called out Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and their crews by name. In the summer of 2012, he had turned himself into the face of defiance against the most famous drill stars in the city. On Twitter and in the streets, he taunted his rivals relentlessly. That evening, when he pressed send on that location, it wasn't just a statement of pride, it was a dare. An hour later, the dare was answered. JoJo was riding a bike down South Princeton Avenue when a car pulled up and gunfire erupted. Witnesses said it looked like an execution, a targeted hit in broad daylight. By the time
Look at him on a damn bike. Motherfucker got pegs on it. Come on, nah.
responders arrived,
Come
JoJo
on,
was
nah.
gone. Just
Look, car hawking him down. Look at this car hawking him down. He tripping.
18 years old, silence on the same day he had broadcast his last words. Speculation immediately spread. Some pointed to members of O Block, others to affiliates of
Look at him trying to run. Come on, nah.
069 itself, saying the beef had finally caught up with him. Nothing was ever proven in court, but in the streets, the narrative stuck. JoJo had challenged giants, and the giants had struck back. His death shook the city. For the Gangster Disciples, it was a devastating loss. For rivals, it was mocked and folded into drill lyrics, becoming one of the genre's darkest calling cards. And for the world, it marked a turning point. The story of Lil JoJo showed how a tweet, a song, or a single line on the internet could become a death sentence. That post at 6:13 on September 4th now reads like foreshadowing. I'm out here was more than words. It was his last broadcast, a digital tombstone for a teenager who lived loud and died young. A message that still echoes,
Goofy.
proof that in the Chicago drill wars,
The goofy shit in Chicago. The goofy ass shit.
and every word carried weight. August 4th, 2020, Carlton Weekly logged onto Facebook and typed out what would become one of the most haunting posts in drill history. Myths got me f***ed up on my brother grave.
That nigga said myths.
It was a message heavy with pain, defiance, and promise. He swore on the memory of his brother that someone was going to pay. That afternoon, in the heart of Chicago's Gold Coast, a place far removed from the blocks of 63rd, FBG Duck was ambushed in broad daylight. 2 cars pulled up, multiple shooters jumped out, and the air filled with gunfire. Duck was hit over a dozen times. To the public, the murders were shocking not just for who was hit, but for where. Downtown Chicago, luxury shops, tourists, $1,000,000 condos was turned into a war zone in seconds. Federal indictments would later name members of O Block as the killers, framing the
It took 6 of y'all. Damn. You needed to slide with all 6 of y'all to get one, man.
part of the endless feud between the BDs and on GDs. Weekly's posts from that morning spread like wildfire across social media. On my brother grave, A, MF gon' see. Hours later, it was Duck who were gone. In drill lore, the post is remembered as one of the clearest examples of prophecy colliding with reality, a warning that doubled back on its own author. But those who watched Chicago's war unfold online, it was another reminder. In this world, what you type could follow you into the streets, and sometimes your
I
last
can.
thoughts were
It
written
probably
long
will.
before your story was finished. April 3rd, 2014, James T. Roy Johnson logs onto Twitter. It's 5 o'clock in the evening when he sends out a message that will echo for years. I can't die by that trigger, so I gotta stay behind that trigger. At King Von Frame he behind that too. It was part flex, part prophecy. To his rivals, it was a warning. To his allies, it was proof that Vaughn and T-Roy were locked together, side by side. Feared names out of O Block.
And both these niggas died by that trigger. That is ridiculous. That shit is ridiculous. Like, what did this post even get you, bro? Like, you could have kept. You got some likes, like some likes. That's it. Like, what else could you get from this?
And to the world of drill, it was another moment where the internet blurred with the streets. For the next 3 years, T-Roy lived exactly how he tweeted, always behind the trigger, always on offense. His name grew heavier with every loss Stilltail and Taekwon World suffered. He was loyal to Vaughn, loyal to Block, and loyal to the life. By 2017, he was 23, still standing, still one of the most respected soldiers in Parkway Gardens. But on February 14th, Valentine's Day of that year, the prophecy cracked. That morning, around 11:55, T-Roy was inside a store in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. The word is he was out hunting for rivals when the tables turned. Gunfire tore through the store.
How you hunt from rivals and get caught lacking in the gas? And what was you doing? Like, what? Like, bro, that shit don't make no damn sense.
Striking him in the chest. The man who had once vowed he couldn't die by the trigger was pronounced dead that same day. Hours later, the internet lit up again. Booker from 600, a close old Block affiliate, tweeted at 11:25 that night, "Y'all don't know the half of what's finna transpire." It read like a promise, a vow that T-Roy's death would not go unanswered. That tweet became infamous in drill history, a signal that one of the bloodiest waves of retaliation Chicago had ever seen was about to unfold. And it did. In the weeks and months after, O Block and their allies unleashed what many call the Purge. Rival sets
They went purging on y'all ass. Yeah, that's how you know you
tied
fucked
to
up.
Taekwon World, STL, and EBT felt the weight of Taekwon World's loss. Poppy from STL was gunned down just weeks later in March. Terry, T.B. Berry, the man believed to have killed T-Roy, was himself shot in the head in May, allegedly by T-Roy's own brother H.K. By August, more bodies fell. FBG Brick and Kobe Mack were killed in a drive-by tied back to the same beef. Drill fans began calling it one
Man,
of the deadliest periods of get back in Chicago history, with estimates of over 10 rivals killed in the year following T-Roy's murder. Old Block
man, they was
T-Roy's
not
death became a
playing.
rallying cry.
They going for the
Families
squad
chanted his
wipe.
songs, painted on walls, and carried in every move his brothers made. For their enemies, it was proof that even the most feared could be touched. And for drill culture, it was a story carved in tweets and blood. The irony is brutal. In 2014, T-Roy wrote that he couldn't die by the trigger, that he'd always be the one standing behind it. 3 years later, he was gone, shot down inside a corner store. And the night he died, another tweet went out, promising a storm of revenge. Both posts aged into artifacts of drill lore, one as a boast that backfired, the other as a prophecy that came true in the streets. Together they tell the full story. A feared hitter who believed he was untouchable, a brotherhood that vowed revenge, and a city that lived out both promises in real time, one on Valentine's Day and the other in the months of blood that followed. November 27, 2017, a Facebook post goes live from an account under the name Tookerville Man Man. All the Opps will be dead by next summer, it read, stamped with hashtags like Get Back Gang and memorial shoutouts like LLTB and LL30. To the casual eye, it looked like just another piece of drill slang, but to anyone who understood Chicago's streets, it was a declaration of war. So when this post went up in late November, it was more than just talk. It was a timestamp planted in the middle of one of the deadliest retaliation campaigns Chicago had seen. And
Ain't
yeah,
gonna lie, that's the craziest shit I ever seen. All the ops will be dead by next summer, and he really mentioned that shit's sad, boy. Can we just get some money? Like, can we just, man, like, all this should be stupid, bro. Go get some money, man.